Hey everybody, it's Thursday.
And welcome to this week's edition of The Night Bite.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Emily. And I'm laughing that I'm saying this week's edition because we've been doing two weeks for the last few weeks. And we are just so excited to bring you it's not all, the tip of the iceberg of what the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo is going to have. So two a week so far. And next week, we'll only...
Yeah, we have
one in a mystery episode. Are we doing
one in a mystery episode? I haven't decided yet. It might just be like a general live walkthrough of what we're doing. You know, maybe our drive down. Maybe we'll be walking through the hotel. Maybe we'll get to see the venue.
Are we going down on Thursday?
I don't know. We'll see. That's what I just said. We're just going to find out. But on our last episode in the series is going to be on Tuesday with Amped Battery. So we're excited to talk with Matt. He's always a great guest on the show, full of great knowledge. But right now, the big talk is ice. So like for us, we haven't been out since Sunday, and that doesn't seem like a whole long time ago, but in the scope of building ice in this recent cold weather, it seems like a century ago.
That is actually a really great point. And so I guess our fishing report from Sunday, we will start there. So we expected to find, to be honest, some decent ice. I can't say it was going to be great or amazing, but I expected it to be a good base layer as far as ice season goes. And any lake that we stopped at, we were finding that the rain right before that, I know that's rewinding quite a bit there, but that it really affected those shorelines at least. And so we were spud barring right through like 3/4 of an inch, if that, and it was slushy and it was yucky. So we bailed out and we went home, obviously. Since then, I've heard a lot of reports of people local and north really starting to get on ice. But I would say, I actually was talking to somebody just today, and they gave me a local fishing report or ice report, and they said the lakes they checked 2.5 inches.
Yeah, I also heard something local that one of our local lakes, I guess it's a little bit state famous, Pelican Lake, is locked up from shoreline to shoreline. I don't know how much ice is out there, but I heard that there's no more open water. I also... I've also been watching online and talking to some of our mutual fishing friends. And if you guys head over to Ice Camp with Brad Hawthorne, he has a great ice report from Mille Lacs Lake. If you guys are looking to the northwest of Wisconsin, if you check out Kyle Tyree and Sydney Tyree, Kyle's been doing a great job at keeping up on ice reports. And he was actually fishing today. That guy sending me pictures, but no, but I think there's some good stuff. Matt Crawford's been on a little bit of ice down south, a little bit less than those guys up north, but yeah, it seems like all over the place stuff is happening.
And it's a great time of the year, though, to remember that ice is inconsistent. And so even though you're right at the shorelines, measuring this or that, however many inches, keep checking along the way. Because especially early ice season, like we said, that ice, you never know, it'll be inconsistent.
Yep. And all ice season, safety, safety, safety. That's the name of the game. Wear your float suit, bring your spud bar, bring your picks, keep a buddy with you. And yeah, let's all have a fun, safe season.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, is as long as you have all the safety down pat, then the fun is easy to have. And I think our guest from tonight also helps make the fun easy because it helps get all of your gear there. So let's bring in Sarah from Lakewood, one of our favorite people.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
I was going to say thanks so much for being here, because you are even coming in tonight from, I was going to say, an unusual location.
So in the background is my Hampton Inn hotel room. I am currently in St. Paul. We will be doing the St. Paul Ice Fishing Expo this weekend, and then we head down to Oshkosh to see all of you wonderful people for that show.
That is always so fun, and we love bumping into you. For the people who are just meeting you tonight, can you actually introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so my name is Sarah, and I am with a company called Lakewood Products. And for any of you not familiar, shame on you. But in case anybody does not know, we are a company based out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we make bow cases, gun cases, tackle boxes, and most importantly for this time of year, ice fishing cases. So we have storage cases for your rods, jig and wraps, spoons, kind of you name it. We have a little bit of everything. And I am the sales and marketing director for them.
And overall, most awesome person, and always glad to see you at the booth.
Well, you are beautiful humans. I love you people. I can't wait to see you guys.
So I guess I don't know if I've ever asked this, and I don't mean to put you on the spot because I always tell people I won't put you on the spot, but I'm kind of
Put me on the spot. I love it.
Yeah. What is the number one hottest product in ice season? Like through the years or maybe last year, what has been the number one top seller?
For Lakewood.
For Lakewood.
For Lakewood, for ice only. We currently, I just actually pulled numbers because of some stuff we've had going on with our transition. And I can get into that as well later. But the greenback is currently our top seller, the big ice rod case. And I do say big because if anybody looks at that case, it is the ultimate storage solution for everything ice fishing that you have. Of course, it's not going to fit everything you own because we're all crazy and have tons of stuff, but it's perfect for throwing on like a machine and taking out. I always tell people if you are a hole hopping person, that is not the case for you. It is way too big. And we have other ice rod cases for that. But yeah, the greenback, the numbers on that have been phenomenal. And then a close, very close runner up would be the vault, which is for our jig and wraps.
Okay. So let's actually stick. Can you maybe bring up a picture?
She does
of what
this
we're
to me
about?
every time.
Because people
Every
at home, they just understand better when they can see and
I
join
think you
in
just
with
like
what
to
we're
shop
talking about.
while we're on the show.
I don't know.
I think you do.
Look at that holiday code. That's kind of fun.
I know
So
Santa's got the sleigh loaded up, ready to go to your house, everybody.
And actually there's a greenback in that picture, but it doesn't really give you a very good idea. So let's pull up that greenback. And I was going to make a joke, like it's not good for hole hoppers. And then you made a point, about putting it on your 4-wheeler or your sled or, wherever you got. So if you have a machine, this is a case that is large enough that you can really just anchor it down. And in that case, if you're not carrying it around, because I would not say this is a carry it around kind of case, right?
Right.
You have this on your machine, then it might be great for hole hopping because it's going to carry almost all of your gear right there in that one case.
Well, and I want to make a quick note. 5 stars, 31 reviews. That's pretty good.
I mean, we
that's on their
one-
website. They're biased.
To not get one complaint. That's the best place to complain is right on the website. Everyone knows that.
No, we do have actually all of our products have really good reviews when people actually go and do them. And because of the review system we use, it has to be a verified purchase. So I can't just call up Josh and Emily and be like, hey guys, go give me a bunch of reviews.
No.
It has to be an actual verified purchase and it will show everything. So even if somebody gives us a 1-star, we cannot go in and remove that. So it keeps it pretty honest with the app that we run for that. Back to the greenback because nobody cares about that. So the greenback, like Emily was saying, if you do throw it on the front of like your 4-wheeler, it's been attached to like snowmobiles, depending on the different snowmobile setups. And then you take it out on the ice, like that picture right there. And all you have to do is just open up everything. On the top, there is storage for your rod and reels. And a lot of times you don't have to break your reels down. And then we have what we call the garage underneath. And that is a very hard, everything's made out of ABS. And so the length of rods it can accommodate 44 inches. That one can go up to 44 inches. And so that garage in that picture there, you can kind of see we've taken the vault and some other things and put inside. And so that is very, very popular as well because you can throw anything you might need in there. It's also got pockets. It's got straps up on top for your ice scoops. And some people even put tip ups up there.
And that's all that information is very accurate. I think that I want to say that some of these pictures on this website are a little misleading. I think that I have about 14 rods in our case.
Oh my gosh, seriously? You got 14 to fit
No,
there?
but I don't think it's the most organized mess. But here's what I will say. I do pack Emily's spare rods. I keep both sets of our or no, I keep Emily's spare rods. Yep. And then we have our snare rods, which are, we have four of those, 2 apiece. And then I have all of my rods in there, so I don't have to carry an extra. Like, we don't have to carry 3 cases. We only have to carry 2. But
I am just over your jaw on the floor. Like,
yeah,
oh my God.
but I put them in there, and I haven't broken anything. I haven't had to take any of my reels apart. The snare rods, I do have to, like, the nice part about this that I really like is it has the foam inserts. Not only is it customizable, but you can take and not have to hook your hooks like on the hook keeper. You can put the hooks in the foam, and that really relieves some of the tension on the rods. Not that they move around at all, but for me, I don't like to stow the snare rods in a like curled up position. I like them fully extended. But yeah, I pack a lot of crap in there.
Okay, well, that is amazing because generally, like all weekend long, I'll be telling people it holds 6 to 8 rods comfortably. But I will be like, if you call Josh, he will tell you you can cram 14 in there. It'll cause my OCD to have a massive freak out moment. But that's amazing.
I think I got a picture of it. I'll have to show you.
I'm like 14. I do think you just broke the record because I had a couple people at the Sioux Falls show come up to me and they're like, yeah, we got 12 in there. And you said we were only going to get like 6 to 8. And I was like, oh. But yeah, no, like Josh said, all the foam is customizable. So even where the butt of the rods go, those notches, you get to pick kind of how you want that laid out. Mm-hmm. All the foam then in the middle is attached by Velcro, so that can pick up and move around depending on the length of rods. And it's just a super versatile case. We've had guys fly with it for fly-in trips. One guy sent us a nice picture after it launched off of his 4-wheeler. He was going 50 miles an hour across red and forgot to strap it down, and it flew. And he said everything in there was amazing. So yeah, it's one of our top sellers.
And quite honestly, along with almost all of the cases that Lakewood has for ice fishing and for hunting, they're very packable. And so, like, when you're talking about hole hopping and stuff, like, this fits very nice in like the a medium otter sled, like in the bottom, and I can pack all my smaller stuff on top of it. So it provides a really like straight base, like something that I can stack stuff on, and it's not like a weird shape, and it's rigid, so like you can put stuff on it, pack around it, and it keeps all of your ice rods safe. So I don't have a bucket with a bunch of rods hanging on it or something like that could fall out. This is in my sled with stuff on it, not going to lose my most valuable stuff.
Hi, Corey. I can see you. We love Corey. I hope he wears his amazing colors over the weekend. My expectations are very high, so you better be dressed up.
That is awesome. So the greenback, for any other details, people can come to the expo. They can check this out because the nice thing about your booth with Lakewood is that you have this product out. People can come and see this. They can imagine their rods in it. They can open it. They can look at it. And that's really fun to have such an interactive booth.
We do. We try to load it up as best as we can. And we do get the question, oh, does the case come fully loaded with everything? No, we're not going to give you guys rods and bait and all that stuff. We try to set it up so you understand how it works. We have had instances where we've had to remove some of our rods and lures and different things because people start touching, and, we don't want accidents with kids when they're not being supervised. But for the most part, yes, we try to lay everything out in the booth. You can touch it, play with it. Just a note, generally speaking, at the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo, ever since it kind of kicked back up and we started doing this, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Are we on year 3 now? Yeah, we sell out of these by Saturday afternoon. And every year I keep bringing more and more and more, but we sell out of them. So if you want a greenback, we will hold it for you at the booth, but come get it, buy it, put your name on it, and then go wander the rest of the show before they're gone.
That's awesome. And so all of this kind of spurred from the question of the top selling product. And so that is great evidence for that, I would have to say. But you also made mention that the number 2 product is the Vault. And at first I was like, wait, don't go on too fast. But the reason that you brought that up is because those two can kind of go together. So when we're talking about that greenback and it has the pockets and the rods and all the things, you can imagine, fine, I'll throw my tackle in there somewhere. But this is the answer to that somewhere. Yeah, Josh, click that picture.
Well, I
No,
want to find an ice fishing one.
it doesn't matter. Look at that.
That's a bunch of trout spoons. Nobody
Yeah,
even
but you
likes
can
trout.
imagine that it could be perch spoons.
There you go.
Yes.
It could be, it could be whatever you want it to be. I don't know.
Yeah, and so the vault, you were asking specifically for ice fishing stuff. And so yes, it is our number 2 seller right there for ice fishing, but overall it is our best seller for year round. Because you can put so much in there, and we've got guys that are getting super creative and getting extra dividers. If you buy it as you see it right there that Josh is showing, you can get 88 lures in there, and it'll hold like your number 7 jigging wraps. It holds your spoons. But what I love during ice fishing season, and I'm going to use my hands like I have a case and I don't. So this is dumb, but that's just how I am. So the dividers can kind of come closer together. You can see little notches in there. You can kind of pull the dividers out or you can move them closer. So during ice fishing, the guys will actually take like a third of the case, fill it with spoons and put the dividers super, super close together. And then they'll turn around and the kind of shows a little bit where he opened it up, but then they'll leave a third of a section. That's how it's set up. And then they'll pull the dividers out of the other and put like their panfish plastics in there. And so then everything is just kind of all in one, and then they're using it. It does have mesh on the bottom. So it'll drain, kind of lets everything air out while you're kind of getting all wet and yucky from the ice. So no, it is a very popular case, and it does fit well, let me correct that. There are 3 sizes technically, but we're talking ice fishing. So the most popular is the medium size, and that is the one that'll fit inside the garage of the greenback.
Is garage the official term, or is that like a nickname?
It's kind of just something I started saying. It's not really an official term, but like when I'm just describing it to people, I'm like, yeah, the garage. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, yes, the garage.
Yep. Yeah.
So I've gotten the question, and I've just kind of defaulted to take a look at the website. But so when there's 3 different sizes here, the small, medium, and large, do the dividers does the hanging mechanism size change with the size of the case?
Yes. So if you kind of scroll down on the website there's a little section that says dimensions. And the only difference in the vault is the height. So the footprint is going to be the same because it's the footprint of a 3700. So it'll fit in boat compartments and different things, but the height changes. So we do have a small one for if you guys are strictly like panfish. A lot of my crappie guys will use that because of the shorter lures. But the medium is going to be probably more versatile. And like I said, it'll hold like your number 7 jigging wraps. But if you start running up to a number 9 at all, then you need to kind of go into the large. And so it explains it there on the website, how to measure your lure and figure out what's going to work best for you.
Nice.
But yeah, it's strictly
thing
height.
that I'm going to point out, and I don't know, maybe this is obvious to people or not, but so you can tell that there is a system where you hang it. And I think a lot of the views just show like that straight little spot. But actually, when you go to hang it, it's kind of like a zigzag thing. So it holds your jig in place, but it is a compression lid. And so when you close up that lid, it's not a system where you're going to have to like still keep it upright, like don't tip it at all. No. This is one of those things that is foolproof. You can toss it around the boat, do what you need to do, and it's still going to keep all of anything that you put in there right in place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we patented that. So it kind of comes down and jigs a little bit. So the hook sits in there. And like Emily explained, that lid comes down on it. And I do tell people nothing in the market is 100% foolproof. So yeah, you go throw that thing around and you're going to have a few that come out. But we all also know what happens when you just throw them into like a plastic utility box. You're sitting there shaking them and everything's, and the jig and wraps have those little tails on them that will break. And so that was kind of what this was designed for, was to help prevent that. And then it also helps if you got any custom paint jobs as well.
Mm.
Well, and I've seen we have some creative customers, and there's some people that have added some padding along the inside. And so you can add the padding and just put a slit in it. And so not only does the patented like hook hanger design help, the little padding is just a little bit of extra for those smaller stuff that, some of the smaller hooks that might wiggle their way out. And yeah, there's all kinds of people that mod, and I think that's one thing that Lakewood does really well is they encourage creativity with your guys' products. You make it very modular. I believe we'll talk about some of the stuff that you guys kind of reinvented last year, and we're gonna kind of push it a little bit more again. But I think just Lakewood in general, all of your stuff is all about customizing it to the customer.
Right. And just because we advertise it one way, like the greenback, for example, that has actually been selling very well out west as a fly fishing case. And we don't even market it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the fly rods will break down enough, and the guys love that they can throw it into the back of their truck, head up the river wherever they're going, and everything's all together. Plus, they, like Josh was saying, you can throw things on top of it and you're not going to hurt it. And so that was interesting when we kind of found out about that, because we never would have thought about marketing that as a fly rod or a fly fishing case at all. And then, you know, those fly fishing guys have also taken the wallet, which is our number 3 ice fishing seller. And then they're using that for all their flies and everything like that, where we designed it more for your spoons and different things while you're ice fishing, because this was another ice fishing concept. But yeah, so it's just interesting. You can take these and just use them however you would like.
Yeah, so this is getting into the me territory. I like the wallet. I like the billfold. This is the kind of stuff that I use all the time, along with one of the treasure chests, because that carries all my stuff. But no, I love these. I love these lure wallets. I think like this picture is a good example. This is kind of what my what are the little treble hook things that I
Stinger hooks?
Yeah. So this is kind of like what my stinger hook case looks like, minus the lures on the bottom. You know, I have a bunch of red hooks lined up. That's what I use in the springtime for walleye jigging. I just have it specifically for that. There's a little tag thing down here. I just have stinger hooks written on it, and so that's what I know. I can throw it in the side of in my little compartment, and I have like 6 of these things laying around. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I keep jigs in it. The little rip and wrap things. I have a whole bunch of those in there. It's just a great product, and if it ever wears out, you guys sell inserts, right?
Correct. The middle portion does peel out. We were smart with that and put Velcro on that, so you can just peel that out, and we will send you a new one. That's part of the warranty.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then the foam, you can actually take a ballpoint pen and write on it. We do have guys that will go through, write like the weight of their jigs or whatever they're kind of putting in there, so that you know, and then everything's nice and labeled and organized. And then I have others, kind of like Josh with the greenback. They just cram so much in there. It is insane.
I recognize that coffee mug anywhere.
I was like, you guys should know a few of these pictures.
Oh, that's funny. No, so you know this is exactly what I was talking about. There's a bunch of my stinger hooks, and yeah, it's just a great product.
Here's why I like it. I'm going to break in. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's because aside from this is, you know, you have all these super intentional things that you write on the little, you put the writing in the insert. No, I don't do any of that, right? I am the total opposite of you. And I use this as like what I call the junk drawer. Because especially for ice fishing, I am guilty of like, oh my gosh, I need to change this really quick, or I need to change that really quick. And I'm really good at knowing what I want to get out of my tackle boxes and taking that out, and I will have that, and then I'll tie it on, and then I have this stupid loose jig and I'm ready to fish again, and I just want to like dump it and go. And so that's really lazy. I shouldn't do that, right? But what I do is I can take either that just whole thing will fit in your ice fishing pocket, or you can just take that insert and put it in there, and that can be like my daily discard spot. And so what happens is I can look for trends with that, and I can say, oh my gosh, everything that didn't work was neon colored or, you know, whatever it is, but you can kind of start to see those trends, and then it's a nice catch-all for when you want to put things back away. So this is what I call my saving grace.
No, and we do make that in 3 different sizes as well. And the small on there is designed to fit in most float suit pockets. So we went super tiny on that one. So it'll kind of fit. I think that one in that picture is a small. And
Mhm.
so, it's just a small one. Then we go up to a medium, and that's going to be more of a footprint of like a 3,600 utility box. And then the large is going to be more like a 3,700 utility box.
Yeah, and so I think that's the medium. I like the large too. That's what I keep almost all my walleye hair jigs in. Just because it provides me a lot of room in it. And as somebody that ties their own hair jigs, I really like to keep that stuff not bouncing around in a 3700. This squishes it. It doesn't really, it doesn't mar any of the paint job or pull any of the hair out or what have you. So all that stuff stays super nice in these. And like she said, you can just like throw it in your compartment and it's there when you need it.
Yeah. And that one, those will also fit in the greenback. So we kind of just made that. So that's another, modular concept that you can take that and it'll fit into the pockets of the greenback. It'll fit in the garage, and it can also go into the ice rod caddies, the money bags. I mean, we try to kind of make everything so things can be multi-purposed and used as needed.
The other thing that's really important about this is it might not be, well, I don't know, maybe it is. I was going to say it might not be the gift that you get for yourself, but it does make a great gift.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think of those fishermen in your life, those people, they have every lure, every jig, every this, every that. What do I get them? This is one of those things that they might not have yet, or if they do, they could probably use another one. So really fun to be able to get this at the expo. Otherwise, you guys have pretty fast shipping too.
We do have fast shipping, and I know you guys have an amazing link that can give everybody 20% off through the 15th of the month. I think Josh shared it too. So yeah, if anybody's watching and it's not for some reason coming to the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo, first off, shame on you. You should. But you can shop at home and save as well. And we try to get things out within 1 to 2 business days. Keep in mind, we are a little bit backlogged right now coming off of the major cyber weekend stuff. But I think our worst turnaround time was 3.5 days. So it's still not like horrible. And we have a holiday shipping deadline of December 15th. So if you want guaranteed Christmas delivery, get it there by the 15th and we'll make sure that your people get it. Otherwise your order gets refunded. And then like the small is perfect for fitting in stockings too. So if you guys are looking for like little stocking stuffer ideas, like Emily said, for gifts, that's just a great one to give. And it's just perfect for year-round fishing as well. And then Josh was talking about some modifications. So do you want to pull up the mini Magnum? So this is a case where we have seen some very, very, very creative modifications on this thing. We did a redesign on it based on a lot of the feedback of people wanting to be able to have pockets, not have pockets, put backpack straps on, not have backpack straps. And so take all of that together. And now what we are finding that people are doing is they are actually making shuttles out of these. And so you can kind of go in and customize them. And I don't believe I have any of the pictures on there of the shuttles, just because there is a few things that we do disclose to people that could potentially void your warranty should you mess up something while you're drilling through the ABS and mounting your graphs and everything in there and putting in your, lithium batteries and running wires. Like there's some things that, we kind of just go through. So we will talk to you about that in private if that's something that you're looking at doing, modding it for a shuttle. But it has been super cool to see the guys put the graphs up on top. They'll be able to fold down, lithium batteries down low, but then they still can run their utility boxes. They throw a backpack on and go. So that's kind of been a new design. But then you also were talking about, what did you say? The treasure chest? You like your treasure chest?
Well, I don't want to breeze past this. So we're just taking some. Emily sighed a little bit because she's like, "Oh, I missed that. I can't wait to get back to using it." No, but we actually have the Magnum top shelf, which we use all open water season, and now we have to go back and transition some of our stuff for ice fishing into our mini mags. And these are just such great cases. I know everybody that's watched our show before has heard this a million times, but this is hands down, bar none, the best case on the market for fishing tackle. And I think it goes without saying that storing your tackle boxes in a horizontal orientation is the only way that you're not going to get all of your stuff transitioning from compartment to compartment. There is no other way, because that's how those boxes are designed. And whoever decided that it was a good idea to put them on end on the side and make a bag like that, I don't know what they were thinking. So the fact that you guys are the only ones that have something like this, that like for the longest time.
Oh, well, now let me correct you there, because we're getting duped. We are getting duped in the market. But I will say, with ours being like a hard case, with the ABS on it, you're going to find that your plastics are going to be protected during the frigid temperatures, where some of these other ones are softer bags. And if you happen just to drop your backpack on the ice or it falls off of something, all that stuff is going to break because of the cold temperatures, where this kind of keeps it protected with the hard case. So be careful of the dupes out there. Really look at what you're getting.
Well, and so not only do you have drawer design, but the top compartment is like the best thing ever, because that's where that's no matter who you are, I don't care who you are, you end up just throwing. That's where you throw the stuff that you want to keep, but you don't want to take the time to put away right away, and then you end up getting halfway through the season having to clear all of it out, clean it up, put it back, but then it just ends up like that, and it's perfect. This is like perfect for fishing, how fishing was supposed to be. And so that and the fact that now that you can take the sides off, you guys have like the saddles that are, well, let's go back to here. You got, the canvas ones, but then you have like you have mesh sided ones so you can see through it. I really have enjoyed using those on the new Magnum top shelf. I can see what's in there, so I don't have to dig all the way to the bottom, because they are pretty large pockets. You have a cup holder. Like Emily has backpack straps for hers. She likes to carry hers around like that. So these are just really cool tackle boxes. Like, you get a lot for your money with those ones.
Well, and Emily, correct me if I'm wrong, is the big brother to that, the Magnum top shelf, still your favorite?
Yeah, to be honest, that's why I'm sitting here quiet, is I do love the mini mag. I do. It fits in my sled great. You can pack on it just like we were talking about before with some of the others. All the great things, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, honestly, come on, people get it. But that Magnum top shelf for that open water, just to organize your stuff, it just fits in my boat. Yep. My stuff fits in there. I just love it. I just love it.
Yeah,
I shouldn't need to talk anybody into it. You should just buy one.
Just because Emily loves it. It's Emily's favorite. Like, just don't even watch her video that's on there. Just, it's Emily's favorite.
All right. So earlier I misspoke. I said treasure chest.
Wait.
What?
Because here, I'll point this out. Even though I don't know, is this ice fishing?
What?
No, because the Magnum, what I do love is those shelves. That was new this year, but this is open water, not ice fishing. So I'm getting distracted.
Well, it can be both.
It could be ice fishing. I mean,
yeah, it can be both. It's just
it
big.
will fit, like the medium vault will also fit on those shelves. So I mean, you could, if you wanted to run out with 300 jigging wraps and spoons, I mean, you could definitely do that. But yeah, we did change that with the drawers. And then just super quick for open water, the drawers have different options. We have like a flasher foam drawer for my salmon guys. We've got a drawer with like pool noodles in it to make it like a rigging type drawer. And then we've just got an empty drawer. So if you don't want to utilize the utility boxes, you can utilize one of the drawers as well. So, and then all the other features are there as far as utilizing the mollies for backpack straps and pockets and different things.
Well, and you do bring up a good point. Like, you can put a vault in there. The noodles are perfect for storing like tip up rigs. If you do a lot of tip up fishing, you could really condense a lot of your stuff just into this. If you wanted to have a greenback that was split into a rod case and then a fishing tackle box, you could basically just get one of these and get a medium rod case, and you would be set. Right. And
I do have a lot of guys, they'll do that with the ice houses, because then everything's stored upright in their ice house with the Magnum top shelf. And then the greenback has the rods, and they are just taking those two items from the truck, go to the ice house, and then they're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the key, is when you don't have to take a million years to pack and repack your sled out of the truck into the ice shack, all those things. Yeah, that's so nice to have your things ready to go. While we're talking
there's
about
those mesh pockets.
Oh yeah, the mesh ones.
Yeah. Love those things. And there's the
ballistic one. Yeah.
So I guess that's another perfect example of actually what I was about to say. You know, we were talking about the shelf inserts. We were talking about those different pockets. Are all of these different accessory pieces available at the expos if you wanted to come and build this yourself?
Yes. So we start with the guts, you know, just the plain case. And then we do bring everything else with us and kind of will customize. Like when we were at Sioux Falls, we had a lot of people buying it for open water ice fishing, you kind of name it. And then they were able to leave with backpack straps and kind of pick out the pockets and kind of see them. And kind of back to what Emily said earlier, we try to set one up in the booth so you can see it with multiple different pockets on it. It might have the drawers or the utility boxes just so that you can kind of get an idea of what it is. And then it just comes down to your style of fishing and what you're fishing for.
Well, and that's exactly it, is your style of fishing, because the case in itself is good to go. You don't have to do accessories. This isn't one of those situations where you have to buy the base and all the things. Those are just options and upgrades to help you suit, well, yourself as an angler. Is that a weird way to put that? Right. But your preferences, your options, you can build that for yourself.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah,
right.
Go to your next favorite.
Well,
I know that's where you're going. Just click it.
So like I was saying before Emily interrupted me, I said treasure chest, but I meant money bag. But we're gonna start with what goes in the money bag. It's the billfolds. So you put the billfold in your money bag. So stay with me here. So everyone knows that I'm like a plastics hoarder. I have
That's putting it lightly.
I have two money. I have enough billfolds to fill up 2 money bags if I want to bring them both with me. Emily makes me only choose one.
Yeah, I do.
That's a smart thing. Emily's trying to control your hoarding a bit here.
But, so we have these are just super cool. So you can they fit the standard bait bag sizes, you know, for most of your bass baits. And so what that means is for panfish baits, you can fit basically 2 of your packs side by side, or just cram a bunch of them in there, because that's what I do. But these are just so awesome. I have all mine labeled, and actually what I used for the label is the back of like one of those yard signs, like a political sign or like whatever sign, because it's like plastic, corrugated plastic. Oh, yeah. And so it doesn't smush down, it doesn't rub off, and it's white on the one side, so you can just write on it, slide it in there, and then I know what profiles I have. You can see the colors through the mesh, so you can kind of zero in on where you're going. Somebody wrote right on the mesh, like with a paint.
And that is a perfect example. That is actually Mr. David Dudley's boat, who fishes, MLF, if nobody is familiar. And he sent me a before picture, and we don't have it on the website, but I do have it. And it's literally, that compartment was filled with Walmart bags, crammed full of his plastics. And so he's like, I need a solution. What can you guys do? And we had this. And so he ended up with a bunch of them, and he took a silver Sharpie and just wrote up on top, because he just wanted it nice and big while he was tournament fishing, to be able to kind of reach in there, grab what he's got to do. And now he just loves them. And he goes, that is my favorite item ever. He goes, it keeps everything organized. He goes, I can open a compartment and exactly see which one I need to be grabbing based on what I'm fishing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so you do have the 2 sizes there. I find, most of the profiles I use the most, I end up using the longer bag. And then oddly enough, some of the bigger profiles that I use the shorter bag, because I don't have nearly as many of those bags, because I don't use those as much. And I don't have nearly as many colors. But these are awesome, and another great stocking stuffer. Anybody that uses plastics is going to be like, why didn't I have this the whole time I've been fishing?
Well, and again, we've now seen people repurposing this for other things. So they will put line storage in there. So you can put your different line in there. We've seen other, put it in your glove box of your boat to kind of keep your registration, extra things all together. So when you open your boat compartment, the glove box up there, it's not blowing everywhere. You just grab that, pull that out. And you can see here with this picture, it will hold the clamshell plastics. So we did make it just big enough that those will fit in there as well.
Yeah, just super awesome. So I take all of these that I have, and so I don't have to carry them in armfuls back and forth from the boat. I have the money bag, which is just an open-ended version with a strap. It's awesome. You like, this is something that you can use beyond fishing if you want. Like you can bring these to Aldi and put your groceries in them.
Yes.
You know, you can do whatever you want with them. They fold down super nice, and they don't get wet or dirty really because it's mesh. And I think I'm on my 3rd year using it, and it looks the same, besides being a little bit worn, the same as when I bought it. Another great addition to the boat.
No, that is another top seller for like year-round type of stuff. And we have heard the stories of people repurposing those. We had a gentleman get a hold of us and placed a very, very large order from Florida. And I had to ask him, I was like, okay, well, that's an excessive amount. I mean, we were talking 250. And I said, what are you using these for? It was actually for the USA volleyball team. And so then they are able to throw their volleyballs in there, water bottles, and they can take them up when they leave the sand from the various tournaments down there, and then freshwater rinse everything. And then it'll dry out. We've had the good old soccer moms saying that they throw the nasty, smelly, stinky shoes in there and throw them into the vehicle. I have one I keep in my truck. There's an example of the beach bag, just kind of using it as a beach bag. But I keep it in my truck, and I keep gloves, hats, and headlamps, all that stuff this time of year, because then it's all kind of contained. So yeah, you can use it for all sorts of stuff. People have used it for motocross gear. Originally, it was designed to hold utility boxes, but now we just see people using it however.
That's awesome. One of the other things that I laugh about is, we all know that moment being an angler where you just always use something for something else. And so one of the things that we have done with this before, I will admit, is we didn't have a treasure chest with us because, to be honest, I think honestly, we gifted our own treasure chest to somebody else who really. So no, I have another one, but I was at home in that moment. And so what we did though, is that we were able to use one of these, even, you need to take the fish from the live well to the cleaning shack. We a lot of times catch and release and throw them back, but sometimes you keep a few, right? And so in that pinch, if you need to transport these fish, this is a really easy mesh bag that's just going to clean out. And then you can put all of those other things that we talked about right back in there. So like we're talking about, multi-purpose.
No, and it's made out of the same material as the treasure chest. We just don't have the fiberglass rod up on the top to keep it open inside like your live well. But like Emily said, if you're just needing to kind of transport fish back and forth, grab your money bag if you're in a pinch. And I mean, it's totally fine for that.
And Josh is highlighting. There you go. So if you want a treasure chest, this is what we're talking about. And so there is that really large option that you were showing for like walleyes and stuff. And then there's this really nice option for right in the bucket. Panfish are great. You can put all kinds of stuff in these like we were talking about before, but especially ice fishing, it's nice that it fits right in that bucket.
Yeah.
We've got people that'll throw their minnows in there as well as their fish, and then they'll take water and kind of use it as a little bit of a live well in the bucket, to kind of keep some water going. So lots of flexibility with this as well.
Well, and you bring up a great point about the live well, but we actually will keep ours, if we are planning to go out and keep fish, we'll keep ours right in our boat live well and throw the fish right in there. Prevents you from having to like go in there and like chase fish around and get poked and stuff. They just sit in there. Like it's a pretty big, like the big one is a pretty big bag.
It just
and
like lines it.
Yeah, it just lines it. And then when you're ready, you just pull it out. It's awesome.
So right to the cleaning table, right to the cooler, wherever you need to go. You're not multi-handling the fish multiple times. And that's kind of showing it coming out of the boat, going to the client with all of his fish for the day.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Oh gosh. So we are coming up to the end here. What other things do we need to make sure we highlight while we are together here?
The only other thing super quick would be the ice rod caddy and the ice pack. The ice rod caddy, because we were talking about the greenback earlier. So that ice rod caddy is going to be your lighter carrying case for your rods. You do have to break your reels down in this setup because it is lined with foam on the top and the bottom. So it'll kind of come in and sandwich them, and it's not going to hurt them or break them, but it kind of sandwiches them, holds them in place and protects them for you. And then we have 3 different sizes of that. We have a smaller one that holds 3 to 5 rods, which means 5 to 10 for Josh. Then we have like our medium, and those 2 are going to do rods up to 41 inches. However, you guys are getting longer with these ice fishing rods. And so we had the demand to create a case that'll hold rods up to 46 inches. And so the medium long will accommodate the rods up to 46 inches now.
Well, and again, this is another rod case that you can put in the bottom of your sled and pack stuff on it. So you don't have, it's a great base. It just fits in sleds really nicely. And everything stays protected, and it's not, as long as, you're not like ripping across the lake, all of your other stuff would have to fall out before all of your rods fell out. So you would notice, I would hope.
No, and we had a customer explain that they basically ran the entire rod case over with their vehicle. They had set it back behind, trying to kind of organize some things in their truck, backed up, went right over the top of it. And they were shocked when they got home. They were so mad that they did it. They didn't want to look right away. They were shocked when they got home that none of the rods were broke. The only thing that was broke was what was in the pockets, some of the utility boxes, because there's no ABS around that.
Yeah. Wow.
And then this lovely case is a big seller for the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo. So this is another one we will sell out of. So just a little heads up to everybody kind of listening, plan ahead. Again, we'll hold it while you continue to shop the rest of the show. But this is for our tip ups. This was generally created for like the beaver dam style type tip ups. It is not totally designed for the round tip ups. However, that gentleman right there, Mr. Pat Calmerton, decided he wanted to gut his and put the round tip ups in it. And so it can do that. And again, that's a modification that if you're going to do that, definitely talk to me before. And we can kind of explain how to get that done.
Really?
But with that, it just goes right on your backpack. You can throw a few rods on it if you needed to. Throw the tip ups inside. It's got storage pockets for things, and out you go. The best part about this case, and I think I shocked Emily the first time we kind of met and you were in the booth, is I told her, I was like, sit on this. It's like the perfect height for jigging. And she's like, I'm not sitting on that. And I was like, yes, sit on this case. And so you can sit on it as well.
And it's like the perfect height.
It is. Yep. Perfect height. So yeah, so that kind of rounds out our ice stuff. Again, people will use other cases for ice fishing as well, but those would be like our top ones. And if you want in on it at the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Expo, get to the booth early, come see us. And we also have lots of giveaways and different things, and try to keep the booth fun while we're there.
It is always fun when we're there. And they will have all of this and more, like you're saying, at the booth. It's a very full place. So come on around and check it out, and make sure to say hi to Sarah. And always lots of good stuff to see there. So like you said, for people who can make it down, check it out. For people who cannot, I know that Josh was able to put the link in the comments here, so you can just click on it. And otherwise, you are available just at lakewoodproducts.com.
Yeah, you go through the email system there, you're going to get me. We're a smaller company, and generally I'm the one that handles all the customer inquiries. If you send a message through social media, that's going to be me. So you're kind of stuck dealing with me. So if you want to deal with Josh and Emily, I mean, definitely feel free to reach out with them. But yeah, it's me.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you being here tonight to talk with us about all of this, even though you're already traveling. What a hectic schedule.
Yeah.
Here comes 5 months of living out of a suitcase. Yeah. But no, we do love the shows and just love being able to kind of see everybody, hear the stories and how they've used the cases, and just to catch up with people. You guys know how it is. It's just great to kind of see everybody, because sometimes some people, I only see them only at the shows. So it's like a once a year family reunion type of thing. So.
Well, and your booth is one of those that customers honestly do come back and give you stories year after year. So that's, if you're new to this product line and you just end up being over there and spend a little time in the booth, inevitably you're going to hear a previous customer or a current customer come up and tell you some kind of story about it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it happens all the time. And like, it's so funny. I will be talking to somebody about a case. They're new to it, trying to understand it. And somebody will walk in and say it. And that customer looks at me and they're like, how much did you pay that guy? And I'm like, nothing. I didn't pay him anything. But it's just great. I've had customers come in and they literally just help me in the booth, and they start selling and talking to people. And then it turns into a larger group talking. And they're like, yeah, I used this case for this. And everybody's sharing their stories. And that's why we call it Lakewood family. We just love having everybody around.
Yeah.
And that is a perfect segue. So for the people at home, if you have a Lakewood that you love, pop that story in the comments because we'd love to hear about it. Or come tell us at the expos. But otherwise, thanks so much to everyone for joining us here this evening, because it is always a ton of fun to talk about all this stuff. And we have one more episode left in this Expo series before we are at the Expo. So some fun coming up this weekend, and then next weekend even more. So with that, looking forward to seeing everyone, hopefully in person, otherwise on the next edition of the Night Bite.
Night, everybody.